Hey everybody, it's Andy Z. Welcome back to Z Frequency. I've got I got a lot today. And normally the color of the name thing doesn't mean much. It's just because I get bored. But today we are going to need the golden light of protection, I think, because we're going to get into some deep stuff today. I've been told to shield up, so that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to be kind of tying in Puharich, Law of One, into what's going on with today's climate, start to finish, kind of. So at least exposing a thread of all of this stuff. So, okay, so let's get started here. And this one, this is a new technique. I say technique, it's me crossing my fingers and hoping that it will work. But this is somebody's story. I don't know if it's true or not. It makes sense to me. Going back all the way to John Dee and Queen Elizabeth I. So I'm going to try and read this quickly. Hopefully this works, but I did it like a video. So cross your fingers for me. So John Dee of Wales and the Draco-Reptilian Alliance. Out of the 16th century arose a most powerful monarchy that enjoyed direct descent from the Anunnaki dynastic bloodlines of Sumeria and Babylonia, the Tudor dynasty of England. The word Tudor comes from the word tutor, meaning teacher. The leader of the Tudor dynasty during this period was Queen Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen, who wore reptilian motifs on her gowns, referencing the monarch's alliance with the Draco-Reptilians. It was under her reign that the Draco devised a more covert means of... See, I should have been a little more kind to myself here. Devised a more covert means of eradicating the human race, using the British Empire as the means to exact such a grandiose plan. The person who Elizabeth had placed in charge of this research was her court astrologer, John Dee. John Dee formed the British Secret Service and became Elizabeth's personal spy under the codename 007. John Dee's espionage missions for the British government were the inspiration behind Ian Fleming's James Bond novels and later film adaptations. Let's go back just a moment again. I'm going to take it back just a little bit. This is obviously not something that I'm great at. Using his many years research of occultism and black magic protocols, he was able to successfully summon an entity, in this case a Draco-Reptilian, who according to Dee himself recommended the formation of the New World Order, where the Army and Navy of England would be sent out to conquer the Americas, India, Southeast Asia, and Australasia. With assistance from the Draco, John Dee formed the blueprint for what would later be known as the British Empire, which was established in 1583. The Draco taught Dee how to harvest loosh, fear energy, from the population, and in return, the Draco would attain a certain number of human sacrifices each year. My gosh, I'm sorry, we're going to do this much slower next time. If I even try this next time, because this was not the easiest. Let's see here. To attain serious end, it behooves not to stop at any means or count the victim sacrificed for the sake of that end. Protocol 15, the protocols of the wise elders of Zion. If enough people on Earth were happy for just one day, then the entire agenda of the Draco trying to depopulate up to 90% of the Earth's human population and rule over those who remain would end. And this is their greatest weakness. So this is, I would say, I don't know that this was the beginning of where this all started, but this is probably probably where our current structure of the Matrix starts. The Matrix has been on this planet for millions of years, but this is where they've formulated a plan to try to loosh us and continue with the blood sacrifices in order to keep this all going. So this is not strange. This is people in power, especially here, have always had some kind of something aiding them and guiding them. It's very rare to see someone in power that has not made some kind of truce or contract with something on a higher level, let's say unseen level. So that said, I want to take a look. This was this is a post from Galactic Troubadour. I don't know who that is, but one of Puharich's space kids, Belita Adair, channeling the Nine. So this is a quote from her. Then a spirit called the Nine came through me, speaking in a low, gruff voice in demonic fury. It reached backward in contortion at Puharich's head, saying something to the likes of, I will rip your head off, and it was calling Puharich bad names. I felt like I was behind with another presence in front of me saying this. I was shocked and confused. My body was forced up to standing position without being counted back out of the hypnotic state. And Puharich was visibly angered and would not even look at me or say anything. This was all very exciting, however, to the bank president, who clapped his hands and said it was very interesting and entertaining even. My hair was sticking out with electricity. So right there, we've got what I kind of see happening with Puharich. It's crazy that Jesse Michaels was saying that he was a good guy. He's a mad scientist. What I see happening a lot of times is we've got people just like today, we've got all these people that are making scientific breakthroughs. They end up, missing or disappearing if the CIA doesn't have their finger in it and can't control it. So what I kind of see happening over and over and over again is we have people that are making contact with either benevolent or malevolent entities from different planes. And the CIA is going to, or whatever, three-letter agency is going to infiltrate that, and they're going to start calling the shots on how it goes. So when we see things like the law of one, when we see things like, everything that we say at CIA, yes, but it's also being run by something on a different level. So the CIA is basically being run by something on a different level. They're a pugnacious little agency. Okay. So once the CIA infiltrates Puharich and is starting to kind of do these experiments, now we see him meeting up with Don Elkins and Carla Ruckert. And let me just put this up really quick.
Authors, Mr. Don Elkins and Miss Carla Ruckert. And they have written this book, which is Secret of the UFO. And we're going to talk about just about everything we can about UFOs.
I have performed an experiment with over 100 people in fabricating what I call telepathic contactees.
Now, how did you and Carla both get involved in this? That's what we'd like to find that out.
Well, in 1962, when I was in college, Don was a professor, and he asked some selected students of his if we would like to try a little experiment. We didn't know very much about the experiment when we started, but what it ended up to be was an experiment which is described in our book.
Is that telepathic?
Yes, having to do with attempting to contrive or manufacture the type of contactee information that Don had been collecting for years.
Dr. Andrea Puharich is a medical doctor. He wrote the book Uri, about Uri Geller. We have been with him, and he was present and observed both Carla's surgery and the surgery on myself.
Okay. So here we go again. Now, the law of one, it could very well just be a bullshit text. It really could. I feel like there's more to it. I really do. I feel like they were being studied by something. I feel like it was a very malevolent ET group or something demonic. And Puharich taught them how to do all this. And you'll notice that he did say we were able to fabricate telepathy. So even if they were able to get in contact with a positive group, they can fabricate the telepathy and put in things that are misleading. So, to me, like I said, I didn't feel any love from that text at all. When I was done reading that, I felt like existence was cold and clinical. So, to me, it was not a positive text, but you have to make your own decisions on that. Now, in a related vein, let's go. We're going to talk about Dr. Greer again. So let's go here.
The falsehood of a fake alien invasion. Now they're going to try to pivot it to it being a holy war between humans and the agents of Satan, et cetera, and so on. So it's a very, very reckless, irresponsible, and dangerous thing that the Vice President of the United States would say that. And I am going to be quite clear with people that he knows who are on my team that cannot be allowed to be repeated. So now it's one thing, Tucker Carlson is saying that. You have a lot of the far right religious people who don't understand the cosmology and the physics of interstellar travel saying it. And it's a bunch of superstitious claptrap.
Okay. So now we've just seen all of this, not so great contact recorded here. For Dr. Greer to say, oh, you guys are being ridiculous, this is not true. Why is he saying that? Why would he be saying that? He's got an agenda. He's being paid by somebody, and he used to work for a Rockefeller. I think he was the doctor for one of the Rockefellers and worked for them for years. So I've also heard from an unnamed source that he attended Bohemian Grove. Thank you to that person that told me that. You know who you are. He is not here to help us. He is here to disarm us. So we see all of these things happening that, oh no, aliens are all good. It's all good when you're doing this stuff. That's not true. It's not true. We're seeing that over and over and over again. So, and I'm not saying to be scared. I'm saying know what you're dealing with. I just want you to know what you're dealing with. You are more powerful than any of them. You just do not consent to what they are trying to do. And that's all there is to it. You are a sovereign being. You don't have to do any of this stuff. So, and you can always say, I shield myself, visualize your shield, and say only the highest love and light may enter this field. And that's what I do every single day. I mean, sometimes I do get attacks. I'll be realistic with you, but those are usually, like I'd say they're like the wizard class of my good friends. So they usually know a way around it, but it shoots right back at them still. So, but we're more powerful than them. End of story. We have our connection to source. That's it. Okay, now I want to talk about this is a guy that, and there's sometimes that I'm just like, I can't stand this guy, but I follow him because, and I've only seen him on Facebook. He may be other places. I think it's called Five-Headed Angel. So he says he's like a 7th generation Illuminati bloodline kid. I do believe that. And so he's working on behalf of karmic retribution. For the most part, I don't think that they enjoy him doing this, but he leans, I'd say he leans more toward hating Trump. So take that for what it's worth. But let's just take a look at what he's showing us here, because he does really point out some good things. I don't think that everything that he says is true, though. We have to understand he's still one of the controllers. He wants to perpetuate that. I mean, he calls people peasants in his videos. He's like, we are the leaders, you're the peasants. He's not trying to help us. He's trying to work on their karmic retribution. So everything that he says, I figure there's an agenda, but let's watch this.
That the creepy demonic entity that Trump purposefully added to the clouds in his weirdo Jesus post is actually Baal. It's important to note that the original image contained a soldier, not a demon. So Trump literally went out of his way to add the demon Baal to his crew up in the clouds. What the fuck? Here you can see the same demon, Baal, represented on the cover of a book called The Last Pull. The practice of Baal worship seems to be referenced throughout the Epstein files. Baal is considered the Duke of Hell, and rites associated with Baal worship include what? Ritualistic prostitution, child sacrifice, all of which, of course, are found in the Epstein files. All right, this is not.
Okay. So, and I thought that was important to point out, because everyone we see on TV, on the political stage, on the concert stage, in your movie, they are all indoctrinated into this cult. Make no mistakes about it. They are all indoctrinated into this cult. And they're going to push people forward from this cult and make them a hero. And they're not heroes. This is theater. This is absolute theater. So we all have to understand that. We, the other 7.5 billion people on this planet, probably more, all we have is each other. They have each other, and they're pretending to fight, and they're the ones that we're giving them our power. They don't have the power. We could easily, there would be 1,000 of us per person, if we wanted to stop this. It really is. We have to get out of this mentality that we're weak. And speaking of, it's a powerful day. We know that I love Max Lowen, and this is her speaking on this topic. So I'm just going to play it and shut up.
Program. It is just that. It is a mind control program created by the global cult that runs our planet and us in order to disempower us, in order to have us believe that someone within their own system is going to save us from said system. It's, of course, completely ridiculous. And it's important to disabuse ourselves of this program, because we, as human beings, actually have an organic life force connection to source, to the creator, to the real God, not the biblical God, which is a fake version. And we can save ourselves simply by rising in consciousness. And to do that, we have to heal our traumas and our wounds, because it's in our wounding that the AI, the dark AI system that runs the matrix, hooks into us. So if we can clean up our wounding and heal and rise in consciousness, we break out of the matrix control system. We remember who we are. We remember the abilities that all humans organically have, like telepathy and self-healing and manifestation and all of that. And we're no longer under their control. And because we then exist in a much higher frequency than the fear-based, trauma-based survival frequencies they want us in and create here, we're out of their reach. We actually end up living in a different reality, okay? So the way to go is not to wait for some president or some political figure or Jesus to come back and, quote, save us. That is the psyop, folks. Please understand, we are way more powerful than the parasitic predator class that's running the show. The only way they have us is because they keep us disempowered, traumatized, fearful, plugged in, and asking the very abusers of us to save us and help us. Thank you for listening.
God, I love her so much. I just love her so much. I want to spend the day talking to her, because she's so clear and concise. She knows exactly what she's talking about, and she lays it out so well. So thank you so much, Max Lowen, for all of your really great messages that you send out. So we have to pull it together. I feel like really charged up about this today. And I want everybody else to feel really charged up about this today, because honestly, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it today. I dare them today, okay? Because I'm sure if you could see me on another level, it would be hellfire. Well, not hellfire, righteous fire, damn it. Now, after all this, I want to give a caveat. And you know how I feel about Erika Kirk. Erika Kirk, to me, is a CIA MK Ultra victim. So is she acting out a nefarious plan? Absolutely. She's a puppet. But I want to point, I'm just going to play this and then let's talk about it afterwards.
I have people saying I'm not fit to be CEO, and I have Candace Owens claiming I murdered my husband. And the list goes on and on and on.
And I get on camera and I show everybody how batshit crazy I am. And the evidence goes on and on and on and on. And I will not stop, because just Monday I said I was taking time off to be with my family. And now it's Thursday and I am hosting a podcast clip, because in Turning Point, you can both take time off from work and work at the exact same time. And this hypocrisy can go on and on and on and on.
Okay. So okay, let's talk about Erika Kirk. What I see when I see her is a poor little girl that was tortured in unbelievable ways and does not know how to express anger in a genuine way. So we see her doing these crazy looking, crazy looks and crazy stares, but she was never able to genuinely express anger or upset when she was younger. And that's what feels inauthentic about what she's doing. When she does these angry things, it doesn't suit her, because she was never allowed to be angry. She was not allowed to show that before, when she was being programmed. So it feels uncomfortable and it feels inauthentic, because she doesn't know how to do that. And now we've got this lady, Jennifer Welsh, I think is her name. To me, that lady looks like pure fucking evil. That lady is evil. And I just want to take this little snapshot as a reminder for us that a lot of these people that we see, we can make, and me included, it's easy to make enemies of them because they are, let's say, the mask of an actor working against us. But let's please remember that a lot of times that's not them, and they don't have a choice in this. They aren't even people. I mean, poor Erika Kirk, I can't imagine the type of healing that she would have to go through in order to retain who she was to begin with. She probably will never know who she was. It's terrible. It's terrible. These victims of MK Ultra and they're assets of the state, basically. She's owned by the government. Her parents sold her to the government, and she is government property. So when we see all these displays, please try and have, it's hard because it makes you feel uncomfortable, but please try and have some compassion for her, because she's never had a normal life, and she's never been able to express anger. The first thing that you hear when you listen to these survivors is they're not allowed to make a noise. They're not allowed to make a facial expression. She doesn't know how to express anger. That Jennifer Welsh lady certainly does know how to express anger, and she is a vicious banshee from hell. I mean, that lady, it just seems like absolute vitriol to me. She looks, I would completely avoid her if I saw her on the street. She looks absolutely terrible. So I don't want to, I want us to all at least try and have some compassion, and let's not be them. Let's not turn to hate for these people. Let's turn to love for ourselves and love for our brothers and sisters instead of pushing into hate for others. Happy Sunday. All right, guys. I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. And it was a long one. And I didn't do anything yesterday because there wasn't much. And then now all of a sudden I'm like, got a pitchfork. I'm starting to get a mob going out there. I don't know what's going on. So, but I appreciate all of you so much. Please stay strong. Remember, we are the ones with the compassion. We are sovereign, and it's our choice which way we go. Let's not fall into Jennifer Welch, because that's just plain ugly. I mean, it is disgusting to me. So please try and have some compassion. I appreciate you.